What's up, all you good fellow fly guys? You know who it is, the cat in the hat, your resident fly guy, your chief architect, Michael Andrew of StyleArchitects.com, here to help you redesign your frame of mind when it comes to the styling thing. And welcome to another Discourse in Dress, some expressions for your ensemble, and some sonnets for your style. Today, we are getting into it. We are starting all of the foundational principles that you are going to need to begin to construct your character, to communicate that character, and to ultimately make sure that you're conscious of who you are communicating yourself to be. You know that I want to make sure that you are dressing yourself with the best of yourself and showing off who you are despite what everybody else is saying you should be. So this is going to be that conversation piece. These are going to be all the things that you can begin to implement into your wardrobe, not only taking on the information and the awareness, but actually making sure that it is going to be beneficial to you in your dress and in your style. So stick with me. Every week we're going to be talking about different elements of your style. We're going to start out with the consciousness of your clothing and your character. We're then going to move into the construction of your closet and the construction of the clothing itself, and we will end with the communication of that character to the community around you, and we'll be providing you with some different elements that you can utilize and implement into your wardrobe. Now guys, this is not about street style or formal style. You know, I'm a guy who enjoys suits, loves suits, but it's not all about the suiting for me. It's about making sure that everything that I am promoting is in alignment with who I am. And so where we're going to start out is with that foundational principle, what you stand on, and that is your shoes. Now your shoes, to me, consciously break down into 5 different elements, and they're essentially your 5 senses. So we're going to address those, and you can try this on, see how it fits you, and then leave me some comments in the comment box about what shoes say to you, what they express to you, and let's start having some dialogue. So before we continue, make sure that you are checking in every week to get this information, to get this game, so that you can begin trying this on and implementing it into your life, and to make sure that you don't forget to do that. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. Definitely would be appreciated, and I definitely am looking forward to building with you. So first, I want to make sure that we talk about the importance of your feet, right? Shoes are the things that protect our feet, and our feet are our base. They're the thing that we can put weight on, the thing that is going to make us feel actually really good, or can cause a lot of pain and discomfort. It is the thing that we are standing on symbolically, right? We can stand on our own 2 feet. It speaks to strength. It speaks to resilience and endurance. When we are running throughout the day, we need our feet to be able to hold up. And if you've ever hurt your foot, whether it's hurting your big toe, whether it is fracturing something within the feet, you understand how debilitating that can be when you can't walk or when you can't move. When we talk about the sensory elements of your consciousness and how that reflects in your shoes, think about first the sound of shoes. If you've ever gone to a basketball game or you played basketball, when you guys were running up and down the court and needed to make a sudden stop, you hear that screech, it would elicit a certain response. That this man is out here hustling, he out here getting it, he's working, right? And for the guys who are wearing sneakers in the office, it's important to understand that that is representing the same thing when you're in that corporate space. But it doesn't necessarily have the same effect as a basketball player would. Think about it like this. When you hear that screeching of sneakers in the office, you think about somebody hustling, but you definitely don't think about that person hustling being the person in power, because he's the person who is the runner. He's the person who's having to take care of all the different types of things. And he's not even a junior exec or entry-level exec. He's probably the guy who's in the mailroom or the guy who's the intern. So it's important for you to understand that that symbolism, even if you are in a casual space, can have profound effects simply by you wearing rubber soles in your shoes, because the guy who has the power, who's moving assertively, or the woman who's moving assertively, tends to have those harder soles, so you can hear her coming, and she's assertive when she's stepping. She's making sure that you know that she's the boss, or that he's the boss when he's stepping through, and you're going to pay attention. When he addresses you, you're going to make sure that you respond because he's set that authority before you. So it's important for you to pay attention to that sound. When you hear yourself moving and you hear that rhythm that you're creating when you're moving throughout the day, all these things are important because it sets the tone. It sets that rhythm for how you're going to move. The second thing that you're going to pay attention to often is sight. Now, if you come from the old school, you know anybody in the old school, our parents used to advise young ladies to always make sure that they paid attention to a man's shoes, and for young men to make sure that they kept their shoes or their soles clean. And it was because women pay attention to that. Even though it's the last thing that you may put on when you are leaving out of the house or when you are starting your day, it's one of the first things that people are going to pay attention to when you step out, because it is going to anchor the rest of your look. So if you're wearing loud shoes and your eye immediately goes to that, there's a foundation that your statement for the day is going to make. If they're subtle, but they still have a certain elegance to them, then that is setting the foundation for you for the rest of the day. So it's important for you to understand that sight, what we see, is going to elicit a certain response as well. And that foundation is going to be how other people are going to move around us. Sometimes you want to draw some attention to your feet. At other times, you just want to make sure that people know that you are stayed in style and that you understand how to present yourself in certain social situations. The next space that we're often going to move is smell. Right? There's nothing better than when you go to a shoe store and you smell leather, or you go into an athletic shoe store and you smell those new shoes. There is a freshness to it that makes you feel vibrant and makes you feel more energized in that space. And even though over time, you know, as we're wearing our shoes, that tends to dispel. If you're taking care of your shoes properly, while they won't have that new shoe smell, they can still smell fresh and vibrant. And that's important when you're putting on your shoes, because when you slide them on and that smell comes up, there's something about that can actually create a more energized feeling for you. And you can move throughout the day, or start your day at the very least, with that space. Now, if you're also maintaining those shoes and the smell is pleasant, if you have to take your shoes off throughout the day due to their discomfort, then at least you're not smelling up your office. There's an embarrassing feeling when you walk in, or when somebody walks into your office or into your space and they're like, you got corn chips in here? Or if a young lady's walking into your house and it smells musty or sweaty because your shoes are sitting by the front door, because you haven't taken care of them and made sure that they smell pleasant. You're creating an experience for somebody that's not going to be pleasant, and that's ultimately going to make you feel bad. So it's important to make sure that even that smell is maintained properly. The next space that we were talking just about was discomfort. It's important that you understand the importance of fit and feel when it comes to your shoes. So many guys and ladies tend to throw on some stuff because it looks good, but it's not the proper size, or it is not the proper leather or the proper construction form, and then they wonder why they feel uncomfortable. And that discomfort can cause dis-ease, and it can also cause you to be upset and angry. It can change your mood throughout the day. So it's important for you to understand that the feel of the leather, and generally most shoes are made out of leather, but even if they're made out of canvas, that these things have support for your feet in different areas of your feet, that you are feeling comfortable when you're putting them on, that they're not too tight or too loose in certain situations, and that you are wearing the proper shoes for you moving throughout the day. If you're going to be on your feet a lot, then you don't want to wear certain types of shoes. And so it's important for you to have that awareness for how you're moving, because these can cause back problems. It can cause joint problems if you're not wearing the proper shoes, which can then make you feel uncomfortable, make you move in a more uncomfortable space, and then create a space of you being easily agitated or aggravated. And you know what I'm talking about. You've put on your shoes and your shoes are uncomfortable, and then you have to be on your feet all day, and especially if you're in a retail space or in a customer service space where you have to put on a smile and those shoes are uncomfortable, and you've been on your feet for 4 hours, you still got another 3 hours to go, and somebody comes up and asks you a stupid ass question, it's the first thing you do. You get the fuck out of my face on, even though you're like, man, how can I help you? right? And that can affect your money. That's affecting just your attitude and how you're going to move throughout the day. So it's important for you to make sure that you're taking care of your feet so that you can dispel the discomfort, but also dispel that negative energy. So the last thing we're going to talk about is taste. Now, I'm not talking about you licking the bottom of your soles, guys. Why do you do that? That didn't make any sense to me when you guys were doing that. If you want to show that these are some new shoes, just show me the price tag. I believe you. It's all good. Anywho, when it comes to taste, I'm actually talking about your understanding of when and why you're wearing certain things. Now, even sneakerheads have this understanding. So they got the stun on them sneakers, they got the cool, calm, and casual type sneakers, and then they got the classic man type of sneakers. And they understand that each one of those situations are going to require a different type of sneaker form. So whether you're a sneakerhead, you're a casual aficionado like myself, or you are the classic man when it comes to the classic elements of style, you definitely have to know that there are different elements that you want to impart and express when you are dressing and getting ready to go out, to make sure that you are dressing yourself with the best of yourself. So those are the 5 different elements of your consciousness that you probably have not thought about when it comes to developing your shoe closet, the foundation of your style, and to make sure that your shoes are saying what you want them to. So leave me some comments in the comment box, letting me know what you think about when you're purchasing sneakers, when you're putting them on, and when you're taking them off. Or if you haven't thought about those, tell me what you think about them now and leave me some comments in the comment box. Please give this a thumbs up if you thought the information was beneficial. I hope you did. I know you did. I go with I know you did, right? And please make sure that you subscribe if you're feeling the vibe. You should have subscribed in the beginning, but I hope you did now if you didn't. And keep on getting this information. Please share this with your friends so you guys can keep the conversation going. This is not just about me. It's about making sure that you are expressing yourself with the best of yourself. And maybe you guys can begin a conversation about what your shoes mean to you so that you're making quality investments in the things that you are purchasing. Lastly, before I go, you know what it is. Don't ever forget that dress is nothing more than the expression of a man's state of mind. So you should always dress to express. I'll see you next week. Peace. We're going to continue our appreciation for African Americans in the fashion industry, and I'm going to be talking about some contemporary fellas in the